let's talk a little bit about getting up, getting the day started, but more importantly, getting the day started right. How do we start our day better?
So, it's so easy for people to say, start your day right, and everything will be better. It's not strictly as true as that. So, one of the things that we certainly talked about last year in videos and is very prevalent in my thinking is making sure you get up when your alarm goes off. So whatever is the trigger for you getting up, that is the moment that you get out of bed and you start. But that isn't straightforward, because if you're going to bed at midnight, but you want to start your day right at 6 a.m. because everybody gets up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, that is not going to work for you, because you are not going to be I doubt there's many human beings who can survive on 6 hours sleep. So the first thing is working out what is the right time to go to bed for you so that you can get up at the time that you want. Therefore, you're going to maybe need to make some sacrifices. And it's going to take a little while for that pattern to potentially bed in, because you're regularly going to bed at midnight and then suddenly we want you to be getting up at 6, for example. It's going to be a challenge. So there needs to be a bit of pre-work about how many hours sleep do you seem to work best with. What is your sleep pattern? But let's assume that you want to have 8 hours sleep and you want to get up at 6. Well, it's very straightforward. You need to be going to bed to sleep at 10 p.m. So you probably need to be setting off to bed a little bit earlier. And then it is absolutely vital that if 6 o'clock is a commitment you're making, because there's going to be a whole load of things after this that we're going to be talking about doing, then you must get up. So you need to break the snooze button. You need to make sure that whatever alarm you have is going to drive you out of bed straight away. And that will become incredibly easy over time. Initially, it might, for some, be quite a horrible experience, but the process of getting up quickly will mean that you jump into life a lot more quickly than you might otherwise expect, especially if you then set up the further routines that you need to do. So these are all things that people can do. There isn't a single person watching this who's unable to do the stuff that I'm talking about. So that first thing is set an alarm that is right for you, ensuring you're getting the right amount of sleep, and get up, no snoozing. The second thing that you want to do then is take on some water. Too many people don't have a drink almost as soon as they get up. So, have a good half a pint or more of water. Get the body functioning. Don't make it coffee straight away. I appreciate you might feel like you need it, but just good old-fashioned water. The third thing that you might want to do is a little bit of exercise, just some stretching. I'm always reminded of my dogs in the morning. The first thing they do is stretch. It's not the first thing that I often do. But if animals are thinking that the first thing they need to do after being like that is stretch their body out, then that's probably something we need to have a think about. But all joking apart, find some really short exercises or stretches that you can do. Just get your body flowing better. Then the next thing that I would implore you to do is give journaling a go. And I don't mean try it, because we know what try means. It means you'll have a little dabble and it won't really work. So I mean commit to it. And there's a couple of beautiful tools out there that I would recommend. Now these are just tools that I've liked. These guys don't know I'm recommending them at all. But they are more than just an empty book that you can fill in, following a certain pattern. There are some instructions around it. So the two that I recommend are the 6-minute diary. And one I've come across really recently called the Mind Journal. I think it's mindjournals.com. I love this. This is aimed at men. I don't necessarily think it has to exclusively be, but it certainly is aimed at them. And I don't want to do too many spoilers, but there is a really healthy approach as to how you might do some daily journaling in this book, and that'd be a cracking way to start. So rather than just buying a blank folder and deciding to write down 3 things you're grateful for that day because someone told you that that's the hip thing that we all do, why not get something that's got a bit of a pattern to it? So get a journal, a piece that somebody has spent a lot of time, money and effort in building for people like you to give it a go. So follow the instructions within those journals and start doing a little one of that every day. I don't think any of the exercises and things that they're talking about will take particularly long on any one occasion. And then the final thing that I would encourage you to do, so you've got sort of 5 really healthy habits which are probably going to take you around an hour up to this particular point, is make this the time that you do the reading. So I've talked in other videos about reading personal development books, and that's, I'm stressing, it's personal development books. Now I've got some flack from authors of fiction, and I do not I do not suggest that fictional books are not good. I accept the flack that I've got, but I'm stressing Personal development books have a different focus. It's a different type of information. I'm happy for people to read fiction books, but not before the personal development book, and I'm not going to be swayed on that. So the fifth thing that I want you to do in the morning is commit to picking up that book or that Audible, or if you've listened to one of my other videos, Audible and the book with your little notebook, and start reading that chapter then. And that is a cracking way to start your day, and every single person who's listening to this video can do it without too much trouble at all. Yes, it will be helpful if you have partners and other members of the family or anything around that they are either in on it with you or supportive of it. But in the main, that is a cracking way to start your day. So I don't know if that helps from your point of view explain what it is that I mean by start your day right, because there's a little bit more involved than just getting up.